It's so wonderful to be back live with you again. As many of you know who are on my list, Akasha here, Nan Akasha, and I've had some eye surgery. It's all wonderful. I can already see better, but I'm probably going to put on my dark glasses so that I behave properly. So I apologize that you can't see my eyes. However, I do want to have the most successful outcome, and I can already see better than before without glasses. So it's going to be very exciting. Now, I wanted to share today with you some beautiful information and a wonderful journey. So our beautiful guest for today, Maria, is going to be coming tomorrow. So I decided to jump on and do this wonderful experience with you. So hopefully you are getting this, you are seeing me, and let me go ahead and let me share my screen with you so you can see what are we doing today. Right, it feels like so long since I've been live with you. I have had such an exciting journey going on with my eyes, with my business. So be sure that you subscribe to my channel and my YouTube channel. And be sure that you come over to nanakasha.com. We are updating everything. We are upgrading everything. We are bringing in more magic, and you will get notices about everything that we do. All right. So this is very important. I want you to realize that this retreat that I'm doing in October is becoming more and more every minute, more magical, more powerful, and more, wow. I don't really have the words for it. So let's go ahead and see what the Celtic goddesses have to say. You can go to nanakasha.com. Let's go ahead and give you the link here. I know that we have it somewhere. Please excuse me. There we go. Okay, good. So my eyeballs aren't quite the way that they will be, and I don't have my reading glasses on though, so the fact that I can see anything is quite amazing. So this is a sacred feminine magic retreat, and what I mean by that is we are going to a very magical place that has history from the medieval times to the ancient times, of goddesses, of the Holy Grail, of Mary, the Mary and Michael lines, the earth currents, the sacred wells, and more. So this is a very immersive, divine, mystical soul quest. And I hope that you, if you feel called, that you'll reach out. If you do, there is a way to talk to me, and I would love to chat with you. There isn't any barrier that's going to keep you from your soul purpose. I can promise you that. I have worked on manifesting for so long for myself and my clients. And all I can tell you is that if you feel called to this, then there's a way to make it happen. The ego mind, the conditioned mind, and everyone else's opinions in your life, which is what we're breaking free from, and the sooner you do, the better. That's a conversation for another time. However, this is a moment that is so powerful because we have an opportunity to truly shed in one go, like the sacred serpent, all of that skin, all of that idea of who we are, what we have to be, who we were told to be, what was true, how limited we are, whether we're worthy enough. And this is going to be awakening your magical powers. This is going to be healing you. This is going to give you an acceleration of your intuitive skills and a healing. Now, it's a small and intimate group. We are only going to accept 12. There's 8 spots left right now. Many different people are looking at their logistics, looking at their money, looking to find their way here. Now, what I want you to understand is that this is both Stargate, because all sacred places, including the Isle of Avalon, the Avebury stone circles, Silbury Hill, all of these incredible places we're going that are ancient, Neolithic, megalithic, and beyond, are stargates. What does that mean? They're time portals. The ancients understood how to work with the earth energies and how to put these stones or put the temples, and then the Christians and other people came along and put their churches and their temples on top of it, because all of them understood these are sacred points in Gaia, in our earth, and They have different kinds of energies that you can use for cleansing, for healing. So we have private access to the Chalice Well, private access to the White Springs, and we have experts from the area coming. We have a Celtic goddess coming, artist, to show us how to make a wand from all the local things, and we're going to be going to all the sacred place to bless it. We're creating earth altars, and everything's included: your accommodations, your breakfast, your lunch, not your dinners, but pretty much everything else. So once you come, you will be immersed in love. You'll be immersed in a beautiful experience. And if you want to come to the whole thing, it is October 7th to 17th. If you want to come to part of it, it is divided up, and you can see that on the page. So what I do want to allow you to understand is that today we're going to talk about Celtic ancient magic and goddess pilgrimage. And this is a pilgrimage in a way. It wasn't designed that way originally, because pilgrimages to me is really just coming into understanding that even though pilgrimages have been all through time and all through ancient times, people have been going to these sacred places. They didn't live at the temples. They didn't live in the pyramids. They didn't live at the stone circles. They didn't live in the sacred groves. They didn't live in the caves. They didn't live in the wells. Any of the imposed imperialistic idea, like here where I live with the Mayans in the Yucatan, the Spanish came for 400 years or more, killed everybody, erased their culture, tried to erase everything about them. And they named their pyramids things like the castle or the house of the governor. Which is all just complete nonsense, okay? There's a pyramid I went to just recently, my beloved, my favorite, that is the Pyramid of the Moon. It's covered in symbols for the moon. It is round, it is circular, it has several pyramids underneath it, and they called it the Pyramid of the Magician or the Seer. At least they got it a little bit right, because yes, it is a magical place. However, it is the Pyramid of the moon, which is the sacred goddess, the sacred feminine energies. There's also a pyramid of the sun, covered in the symbols for the sun, has the alignments to align with the sun for all the sacred times, like all the ancient cultures knew how to do, and we do not know how to do. And yet they call the pyramid of the sun, they call it the house of the governor. They're try to convince us that people were buried in the ancient pyramids in Egypt. They were not. These were not built as burial chambers, even if later on somebody came along and stuck their dead body in there. That is not how they were created. These were all created on top of powerful earth vortexes, certain kinds of energies. When the waters or the rains would come, would create a certain vibration, almost a song. These were created as amplification centers. We use them for initiations, and they did as well. But they're energy plants. They concentrate energy, and all the pyramids around the world speak to each other, and they create a grid around the world. And they are waking up again now because we've been in the dark. And clearly, we've been in the dark because we think we're more advanced than the ancients, and yet they knew how to do things like track the stars, predict what was going to happen even today from many, many, many thousands of years ago, if not more. We're way more ancient than we've been allowed to be told. And the religions and the governments and the different authorities have been inside the paradigm of what we call the patriarchy. Now, it's not useful for any of us to blame anybody. So don't go around, oh, I hate this person, I hate that person. I understand it's difficult. Once I came here to the Mayan land and I started to learn about what had happened here, it made me very sad, very upset with the Spanish conquistadors. And yet, if you look around the world, all cultures were conquered by each other. Even within their own culture, the Mayan were conquering each other. And it's just what happened. We have to come into that place where that's just what happened, okay? So once you let go of blame, you're going to rise to a higher state. Then you can open your intuitive skills. Then you can start to receive true guidance and divination. Divination means communication with the divine. It means seeking your truth. It means living every day as a ritual, a sacred being, walking in a sacred way, living your life as a sacred path, which it is. That is a ritual to the divine. So I want you to understand that whether it's a grove or a temple or a pyramid, whether it's near your house, like I'll be going to a pyramid for the solstice in a week or so, or it's something you tap into through me, through a picture or through a video, it's okay. There's no time and space. And the more you wake up, the more you will realize this is truth. None of these things that the ancients taught were lies. They knew the truth. They listened to the earth. They talked to the spirits. They could enter the other world. They could talk to the fae, the fairy realms. They could speak to the stars, the moon, the thunder beings. They understood that the stones were stone people, so to speak. They understood that the trees were spirit essences. We are all made from the same energy, and we are all divine, and we are all created to be a container for consciousness from source. Now, can you commune with it? Can you believe that about yourself? And can you slide out of the identity that you've had? That's what all my work is about, how to empower you to hear your own inner voice, to talk to your own higher self, to your own fairies and guides, to your own land, to your own body, to all of the different sacred elements, the stones or the elements. Perhaps you love the goddess Ishel like I do, or Isis, my beautiful Isis here, Thoth, my teacher, Mother Mary, Nike, Kuan Yin, my jaguar spirit. I am a jaguar medicine woman now, quite honored to have gone through in the last 9 years many different sacred ceremony with the Maya to initiate into jaguar. Jaguar is the medicine of the West for most of the American cultures, and this is the pathway through death. What does that mean? We're going through a death now. In fact, we're going into a birth. So Gaia is a conscious entity, and she's dying and being reborn, and we are with her too. Our bodies are made of Gaia. Our bodies are made out of everything that has lived and decomposed. The waters on the planet are full of codes that hold the ancient wisdom and mysteries. So I want to go ahead and take us now into the Celtic ancient magic and goddess pilgrimage idea. Let me just check. It's 10:10. How wonderful. Let me just check here if we've got anyone coming, and I'm going to turn this off for you and go back to comments. Hi, Lisa. I'm so glad you found me. So happy to be here. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie. Yes, we did have a different show scheduled for today. Unfortunately, my beautiful and amazing guest had to move it till tomorrow. So I hope you will join me tomorrow. So I jumped in and thought, let's do this very beautiful concept idea. So let's go in. Now, what I want to show you is something really beautiful. My beloved Chris is making my artwork. This is one of the ones he made for me. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you can tell, there's some Celtic spiral symbols, that ancient goddess spiral symbol of the divine that shows us that we are in a spiral. We are constantly being reborn. We're in a cycle. We're in a cycle of death and rebirth. And the truth is that right now we are in, I think it is the 6th great extinction event on this planet. And yes, that is a chaos event. That is an unpredictable event. And the way that humans have acted in, like I said, don't blame anybody, just get on the path of your own divinity, please, is that we've used the earth, we've abused the earth, we've abused each other. We have a culture based on hate and violence and judgment and control, and all of that is ending. So you are on the cutting edge. And here's the thing. If you understand that an extinction event means that we do not have any barriers or anything slowing us down from evolving, from accelerating our growth, then if you've been like me for 38 years just in this life, consciously on that path of spirit, who am I? How do I meditate? What does this mean? How do I communicate with animals? I started with animal communication after my beautiful fashion design business had to close because everyone went bankrupt and didn't pay me. So I know now that that was my soul showing me that that was all I needed to learn in that. So I don't judge my path. I don't get upset anymore, even though at the time it felt like a horrible breakdown. and I felt like a massive loser. That is the idea, the mental idea you have to shed. You have to get rid of your lack of worthiness. You have to slide out like the sacred serpent of any identity you still carry that you weren't worthy, that you don't have the powers, that you don't have the resources. Like coming to my retreat, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from coming this retreat. And I know that sounds a little bit, don't tell me that. I've got kids, I have bills, I have this, I have that. I don't see the money. I don't know where it's going to come from. My husband doesn't want me to come. I know all the stories. I know all the reasons. I know all the excuses. I've been there. My clients have been there. And I can promise you that those people who reach out to me and say, I don't know how I'm going to come, but I can promise you, I know that I'm meant to be there. Once you say yes to spirit, once you say yes to that calling, you start to receive and see and perceive the symbols, the synchronicities, the guidance. You start to have the dreams, and wow, have I been having dreams. Holy me, wow, so vivid. I wake up and I'm not sure which world I'm in. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm constantly walking in multiple dimensions. It's one of my favorite things to do because it's what you need to do as well. So this summer, we have the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp on divination, on working with the dragons and the goddesses and the Celtic water magic and the elementals and Merlin, and practicing your intuition. Now, if you come on the retreat, you can get that for free. I mean, not for free, for half price, and it's already on sale. So what's special about this versus anything else you do? Well, one of the primary things is that we have the ability to, let me put that up there. So if you go to shop.nanakasha.com, you can see the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp and some of the details about it. We're making a little bit more beautiful page for you, however. And what is the power of it? Well, I think this is the 4th year, maybe the 5th year that I've done this specific course. And I actually have clients come back year after year because they accelerate their intuitive powers so dramatically that if they're already doing energy medicine work, if they're already doing psychic work, if they're already doing soul work, whatever it is they're doing, light working, whatever it is, even if it's, you're a nurse, okay? Doesn't matter what you are doing in the world. Well, it does. You want to do what you're designed to do. However, this will enhance that because there is nothing more important, to be honest, than you having a direct line to your own authority, to your own inner voice, to your own higher self, your body elemental, your guides, your angels, all of the incredible divine realms that are here for you. And this is the truth. You are guided. You are supported. You are here on a fully funded mission. And when I say that, I don't take it lightly. I'm not just throwing out things and saying, buy my shit because this is what you're going to have. No, I have been through the ups and downs. I have been through the shit. I have lost all my money several times. I've made millions. I've been through it. I was adopted, and then my mother who adopted me disowned me, and now we're best friends again. I had a daughter who died, and then I adopted my twins. I have been up and down the scale with you, and probably you may even have more painful experiences than me. There's always somebody that we can find who's had what we would consider a more difficult experience. None of these are meant to stop you. They're not meant to hurt you. They're not meant to punish you. They are guidance from your soul. You're not on the right path. Time to leave this relationship. I can't take this job anymore. It's making me sick. I can't take this relationship anymore. I need to speak up. It's time for me to express myself. You might not do it eloquently at first. That's okay. So when you come and increase your intuitive senses and you cleanse and clear in the way I show you, I create a sacred temple and I create a sacred space. So my students who come say, wow, when I'm with you, I see, it's amazing. I have a beautiful client who first came last year, I believe, to the Intuition Awakening Summer Camp. She's now in my mastermind. She's taken the Prosperity Magic class. She's done other classes with me. Why? Because these quantum leap you. This is real magic. This is real truth. This is the truth of the energies that are here, whether you can see them, hear them, know them, whether you're clairvoyant and get visions or you go, oh, I don't see anything. None of it matters. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging yourself. Okay. So what we want to do is recognize and acknowledge that we have that divine codes within our cells, that the water, okay, within our bodies, that's blood or cerebral spinal fluid or whatever, is the same as the waters on the earth and in the skies. And what is that? It's ancient. This air has been here. You've breathed it in other lives. Your bodies from other lives are still here somewhere on this planet. There is no time and there is no space, whether you get that or not, you're multidimensional. So the truth is that you have access to all these things. And this year, we're really going to focus on that inner divine feminine, because we have to balance the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine. We have a beautiful dragon year right now that is creating a structure for us. So let's dive into the Celtic ancient magic idea and the idea of pilgrimages, and specifically goddess pilgrimages. So I want to explain a little bit about a pilgrimage. Perhaps you're like me and you thought, oh, that's something that people do. The Jews go to Jerusalem and the Muslims go to Mecca, and, and the Christians go here, and so on and so forth. So to me, it was like, that's nice, but that's for those people in those religions. I'm not a religion. I don't give myself a label. I studied everything that I could get my hands on for years until I realized I didn't have to consciously know everything. I realized underneath, when you get into Buddhism, when you get into Taoism, when you look into these different things, at the core of most of them is love, right? But divine love, not, oh, I'm in love, or I love ice cream, or whatever, or I love my cacao, or I love butterflies, or I love the ocean because I live on it. That's wonderful. This is a completely different thing. This is divine love, which is the field. Now, remember that whether you're aware you're a creator or not, whether you believe it, whether you trust yourself, whether you practice this, whether you even set aside 5 minutes a day for your own sacred time, and please, please do that, you are creating your reality. You cannot blame anyone else, even people who hurt you or abused you. They were part of your soul path. It doesn't matter. I can promise you, the sooner you slide out of that and let it go, the sooner you will begin to start to communicate with the lives when you were a Celtic priestess or an Egyptian initiate or a healer or a nurse or a leader or something, an artist, someone who understood the sacred stones, someone who talked to the moons. Maybe you were a star watcher in the ancient Mayan or Egyptian. These ancient people understood an incredibly vast amount because they could listen, they could hear, they understood. The ancient Maya understood they walked in two worlds. They were doing it all the time. So the idea of a pilgrimage is a very sacred thing, and it's very, very happily becoming a more common thing. So this retreat that we're doing is a pilgrimage. Why? A pilgrimage is when you decide to take a sacred break from your mundane life, your everyday life, and you move into a path where you are a sacred being, walking in a sacred way to a sacred destiny, in a sacred mind and emotion, with the intention of being fully present to the divine. What is the divine? Well, you're divine. The air, the clouds are divine. Everything is alive with source energy. We're all made from the same thing. So pilgrimages could be very important to you. There's a lot of people who like to do pilgrimages for Mary Magdalene. And there's a lot of Mary energy where we're going. We're going to be working with Michael, Archangel Michael, and Mary, currents that wind like the caduceus around the ley lines, dragon lines. We're going to be working with these different energies, the waters, the wells, the springs, the fairies. So a pilgrimage is when you intend, and you can do a pilgrimage to your local forest if you wish, okay? It is within you to decide that it is the intention with which you are going to do, be, and show up. So you act in that way. I read a few months ago, someone described what's a priestess. And they said it is a sacred woman who lives a sacred life in a sacred way, walks in a sacred way, talks in a sacred way, treats herself and her family in a sacred way, understands that there's sacredness in every moment. I know that sometimes it's hard to believe because of the trauma and drama that we see around us, and yet this Earth extinction event is an opportunity. All of the barriers to your growth have been ripped away. You could evolve and accelerate as fast as you want. You could heal your body as fast as you want. You could make money as fast as you want. You could change your ability to speak your truth and to understand who you truly are, or to communicate with the fairies or whatever you want. Anything that you want right now is possible in a very accelerated way. So I want you first to understand that you are an energy field. You have a light body, we call it, a luminous energy field that is a structure of light that allows your physical body to appear in form. Then you, as a divine essence, enter it. You're encoded with fears, pains, soul contracts, and a lot of pains about being a priestess or a healer or something where you were killed, you were burned at the stake, you were outcast, all of those things. Even in this life, many people are afraid to speak their truth to their very dear ones. And it's okay. That's why we're here. Join my community. Stay here with us. We love you. We're ready to empower you. We're ready to see your magnificence. So as you move into a pilgrimage, and to me, the goddess means the divine feminine, the archetype of the divine feminine. Now, the divine masculine and the divine feminine really haven't been around on the planet for quite a long time. Even some of the shaman who know and can consciously incarnate or not in Peru, some of them went when the conquistadors came there. They understood that their prophecies, that their magic, that their understanding was very, very important to keep away from the people who were filled with the ego greed, right? The patriarchal mind of, I want your shit and I'm going to kill you and take it and impose my ideas on you. And you can still see that today. I can see that here, the fear in people to not have a little cross on their wall, or to not have this. I even have a friend who does Mayan ceremonies and Aztec ceremonies and blends them with Christian ceremonies in order to still, because he learned that from his family, to look like you're behaving to those people around you so they don't kill you, they don't attack you, and yet you're secretly also doing the work of the truth, of the direct contact, the direct access to Gaia, to these energies. So the divine feminine is awakening. We know that. We talk about it a lot. What does it mean? It means that intuitive side of you, that part of you that flows with creativity, that dies and is reborn and understands cycles of life and doesn't get in a big drama about it. And we are birthing a new world. We are co-creating it. You cannot take the old paradigm and try to fix it. You're going to have to just let it go. And you're going to have to slide out of it and become one of the new creators. Walk a sacred pilgrimage in your own life. Okay? So I'm going to share a few more pieces of beautiful artwork that my divine beloved did, and then we'll go into a little bit of a process. So this is, I asked my beloved to create me some Celtic goddesses, of course, all these different magical things that we're going to be doing on this retreat and in my magic school. And I wanted you to see this, to understand this. So a wand is a way to focus your energy. Okay, so you don't have to have a wand. However, we're going to be making wands in the retreat we're going to. And wow, can you imagine making that wand with this beautiful Celtic goddess, going to all the sacred places, sourcing your things for your wand, creating it with her guidance because she makes them beautifully, and putting crystals and symbols and spirals and all of that on them, and having ceremonies in the wells and in the labyrinths and in the tour and in the goddess temple. So this is a labyrinth. And it's not really the classic 7-layered labyrinth, but the concept is the same. The temples of old that people did pilgrimages to had layers like this. They came in the first layer and the next layer and the next layer. And then the inner sanctum, the most sacred part, was dark. What does that remind you of? The dark is the yin energy, the feminine energy. The dark is the womb. The dark is the place of creation. And when we're willing to go into the dark, when we're willing to go into those deeper places, then what happens? We go into our shadow and we embrace our shadow. And we realize that we are not evil and that our shadow is not evil and that we do not have to fear the shadow or the dark within us. In fact, it is the evil, whatever you want to call that, The damaging part is the part that says stay away from the inner sanctum. Don't go directly. And many religions, including the Bible, have said, don't do it. Don't talk directly to source. They killed Joan of Arc. They started the Spanish Inquisition in order to find people who could speak directly to Gaia, to source, to God. And, Joan of Arc, she received a direct download that was absolutely true. And she helped to lead troops of her culture at the time to success because God spoke through her and she believed it, she trusted it, and she said, hey, look, and they won. But what happened? The church, the authorities that do not want you to know your true power. They do not want you to remember that you are the creator. They do not want you to listen to your inner voice. They want you to feel controlled by them, to ask them what to do. And we're raised this way, okay? So you're breaking free of those conditionings deep within you, whether it's a family, a government, a school, a religion, whatever it is, could be your lineages. This is the place where you were told, don't you dare. In fact, it was illegal in many countries and still is in Nigeria. It is a law on the books that you may not do divination. That means you can't use oracle cards. That means you can't look at an eagle flying over and say, oh, I think that eagle is giving me a message. It's telling me something. I have a sacred spirit guide circle. Hopefully you come and join it. It's only $26 a month. We do amazing magic in that thing. And we meet twice a month. And so you may be very like synchronicity, signs, symbols. People say something 3 times and you see 333 or 1010, and you know that it's an angel number. Do you speak with your angels? Do you feel guided? Do you have an inner knowing? You can't do any of that according to the culture we're coming out of. You are not allowed to trust yourself, to have your own access to Gaia or to your own inner authority. So I want you to think about any sacred place, whether it's a temple or a grove or a cave or a pyramid, doesn't matter if there's an actual human structure on it or not, like this, all right? There is layers that you come into. Here's one of the things that they did. So I love that she has a wand. She's actually working with the wand almost like a dowsing rod, which we're going to learn to do. We're going to have an amazing chakra alignment at the ancient abbey in Glastonbury with Maria Wheatley, who will be on the show tomorrow, a Gaia TV star who's a master dowser from lineage-wise and a Celtic druid and lives there and understands the stones and knows things that almost anybody doesn't know. And what happens when you douse, when you divine the energies in the earth? You find this place is for cleansing. This place is for empowering. This place is not good for me. This is giving me illness. This is causing me cancer. It's true. It's not like every earth energy is good for you at all times. And understanding how to sense and feel through a pendulum or a dowsing rod is so powerful because you get that experience of feeling it, right? You get that experience of, wow, look at that. It moves. It moves without me doing anything. And you are a clear and open channel. This is something that I teach you to do. So what happens when people would go on pilgrimages? I want to share a couple very important secrets so that you can do a pilgrimage even to your own meditation room, into your garden, into someplace near you. First, you have to make that intention that you are going on this sacred pilgrimage. That in and of itself is going to activate the ancients, the wisdom of all the cultures around the world that have been doing pilgrimages. They go in a sacred way. You do not have to believe in that religion. You do not have to have anybody else's belief. However, the power at some of these vortexes or temples of the people who came and did sacred things, who trusted, honored, and revered the energies in the place, they still live there and they amplify the energies. So first, your intention is, could be a half an hour pilgrimage. Okay. So when you go on a pilgrimage, you go in a sacred way. Your intention is the first thing. I'm going. Maybe you have an intention. I want to heal my body. I want to help my mom. I want to free myself from all the abuse that I carry or the trauma or the PTSD. I want to embody things somatically, right, into my body rather than carrying everything in my mind. Very good idea. Put your intention, whatever it is, and you don't have to have an intention, because with whatever intention you have, please always say, for my highest good of what is optimal for me at this time. That is the most important phrase you can learn for doing magic, doing creation work, doing truth work for you that will align you to your truth, not my truth, not someone else's truth, not your mother's truth. You're not here to live anyone else's life. When you start your pilgrimage, the intention is there. That's why if you want to come on the retreat and you have some barriers, you perceive work or children or other people or money or whatever you perceive as a barrier to you coming, you want to immediately say, I'm not handing my power away to money or to the fear that other people won't like what I do or to asking for what I want. Like, so many people are so afraid to ask their job for time off and to insist. It's ridiculous. I mean, I really want you to understand how ridiculous it is that you aren't willing, or you haven't been willing. Maybe you are now. Good for you. I wasn't. I was terrified of even asking where the toilet was. Okay. So anyone can change. I live a very different life, and I've had just last night and recently with my eye some incredibly powerful transformative experiences where I've left my body. I've shed layers of fear, eons of fear out of me. So when you go on this pilgrimage, you do not know how it will unfold. You do not know what will be the outcome. You hold your intention, but then you walk with the divine. You walk with your soul purpose. You walk with your guides, your higher self, the blueprint that is encoded within your sacred body, your DNA, your soul lineages, and everything else in your light body. So when you divine, when you hold this intention, this particular image is powerful because where is she? She's almost to the center. She has made her intention. That means her focus, her intention, her wand, and your decision is a wand. When you say, I know I'm meant to do this and I don't know how, however, I'm going to listen to my soul and my heart above all else. And believe me, this is a choice you have to make over and over again because most people in the world don't do it yet. And yet that's where we're moving. And the energies are supporting you. You will accelerate very, very quickly out of pain and fear and other trauma because you don't have to embody it anymore. It isn't your truth. You embody it because you project it. Okay. So if you're like, oh, I'm confident and I'm moving forward, but you're dragging secretly or deep within you, you're going, oh, I'm still bad. I'm not good enough. It's okay. Don't judge yourself because you have it. The journey is the path. That's the vision quest. That is the path of the priestess. That's the path of the divine back to your truth and your soul. So when you enter a sacred place, you start with your intention and you go on the journey. Could be 5 feet across the room, could be all the way across the planet. All right. Then beautifully, you get to go with other people, whether it's ancient people, other parts of yourself, other guides, or with a group like mine, where we're going to have a small group of people, very beautiful, intimate group. And I have so much magic planned for you that when you leave, you won't recognize yourself. You will definitely have a quantum leap. You will definitely transform. I have no doubt about it. I've been doing these kinds of retreats for quite a long time. You don't know how you're going to shift. I don't know how you're going to shift, but you will shift. So next, you've got your intention, right? And then you decide to move. The first thing you do is you circle the outside of the sacred place. And this is ancient stuff in all cultures. And I'm going to explain to you why. You circle the outside of the temple or the grove or whatever it is. And you do it 7 times. Now, it's a sacred number, and there's a lot of deep, not just numerology, there's a lot of deep truth and deep magic powers that come from that. Now, this image, you can see that she's reached the center. This image, she's about to reach the center. Remember what I said. The inner sanctum was dark. If you go to India, if you go to a lot of places, that inner temple, of course, in Egypt, they're missing the roofs, most of them. So it doesn't look like it's dark, but you go through a layer and then through a layer. And then there's an area where only the priests or priestesses or the rulers were allowed because they wanted to keep everybody else away from their divine truth, right? And you could go maybe there to be healed, that you were only allowed so far in. So maybe you went 1 and 2 and 3 layers. First, you circle. What do? You circle in a clockwise way as if you are the sun. The sun represents self in astrology. It is the divine golden light of truth that comes through you and your body. And the truth of the gold ray that comes through is a divine ray. It holds all the other rays of creation. It is giving you the truth and the power to say, you have everything you need to create the reality you came here to live. You have to let go of the ego wants. Well, I want money in 5 minutes. I want $1 billion and then I'll feel safe. I want everyone to love me. I want my mom to agree with me. Sorry, that's not part of the path. You're never going to get that. That's why I say slide out of it. Don't expect anyone else to agree with you or give you permission. This is your pilgrimage. So you go 7 times around. What happens? You've now created the temple or the grove or your meditation chair, the sacred space, the center, the center. What does that mean? Well, we talk about getting centered. We talk about coming to the center. We talk about disconnecting from everyone else's story and being in your own center, in your own truth. So the first thing you do is an intention. And the second thing you do is circle like the sun. And it works. Believe me, you will feel a shift in the energy because your intention is marrying with all the other sacred intentions. Now, I am Celtic in my actual body, and I have many soul lineages, and I'm going to be sharing more about soul lineages with you. So make sure you stay here because I'm going to be doing some free masterclasses next week around the solstice so that you can connect to your soul lineages and your soul powers. So these different cultures, these different traditions are available to you. They're in the Akasha. They're in the Akashic records. They're maybe perhaps already encoded within your soul. You don't need to know what they are. You just hold your intention. Then you step out. Now you have to let go of your grasping desperation for a particular result. You can definitely say, I would like to be free of my poverty. I would like to be free of my lack of worthiness and my people pleasing. I would like to be free of not using my voice. I'd like to be free of limiting relationships or jobs I don't like. I'd like to see. A lot of my clients really take leaps of faith and they leave a job and they don't know where they're going to go. And maybe months go by and they don't know. And they're just like, I'm not going to get a job. I refuse to go back to being a slave. I refuse to do something I hate. I refuse to do it. And even if they don't know what they're meant to do, what is their purpose, they stay strong in that unknowing. And that is a powerful place. The next thing is you circle. When you're done, you stand and you feel that you have now created that place as the center. Now you enter it. Perhaps you enter one step, you breathe, you release, you call on the divine. You take the next step, you go step by step by step. What I love about this is that she's just outside of the inner sanctum, but it's not dark, is it? Because she has her light. She has divined her way there. She has allowed the ancient goddesses, the ancient dragons, the fae, whatever energies are ideal and optimal for her purpose at this point to come with her. And when she enters the dark, it doesn't matter because the light is here. The light is here. Okay. Now, once you enter the center, you may take as much time as you want in these outer realms. Like if you actually go to a sacred temple in Egypt, there are ceremonies and music and incense and carrying beautiful things and colors and chants and all kinds of things. And it might be like a whole day or more. In fact, I've heard from people that the number one request for vacations in India is to go on a pilgrimage. It is their most normal thing. They're not like, oh, I'm going to go skiing with my family. They're like, we're going on a pilgrimage. And they have temples across the land. to different deities, to different Ganesha, the remover of obstacles, or Lakshmi, the bringer of material and spiritual wealth and riches, and so on. So for you, you could be coming with a certain wound, a certain intention, and you come in. You can take as long as you want in each of these outer layers. Now, once you enter, see again, she has her wand and it's quite long. This has become her light antenna. You have a light antenna in the center of your body. It goes through the center of the spine, it goes through all the chakras, and it connects you from above and below. You have that connection whether you realize it or not, feel it or not. So she's now entered and she's holding herself as sacred, as worthy, and she's entered that inner sanctum, that place of release. It's like going into the underworld, going into the shadow and letting go and being reborn, so that when you come out of your sacred pilgrimage, you are reborn and you have died. And this is one of the most important. I've studied with a lot of shaman. I am a shamaness. And I have a Celtic shaman and Mayan shaman and Lakota Sioux shaman and different cultures that I've worked with. And the shaman has a path to retrieve the soul, to travel through time and space, to find those parts of you that you've hidden, that you've made a contract to keep secret. And this is a journey to reclaim the truth. And once you get there, you could come in like, oh, I want money or whatever. That's fine. Put your intention and then let it go. Because the truth is that it's the journey that you take towards the goal that calls your heart, that you're willing to step out and actually act on, that is the gift, that is the healing. And you don't know how it's going to unfold. So the more you say, well, it didn't happen yet, or I don't know what it is, the more you interrupt the process. Then when you're in the center, you start to see the sun rise, right? You start to see the light. The light is coming from within you. The idea of a pilgrimage is to go to a sacred place, and the sacred place is really within you. So that then when you emerge enlightened, when you emerge healed, when you emerge, you have become, again, the powerful goddess, the powerful priestess, the seer, the oracle, the shaman, the light worker, the healer, whatever you want to call yourself. You have reclaimed a power. You have released a falsehood or a lie. And now you stand in the center. When you come out of a death, doesn't have to be, you don't have to leave your body. Doesn't have to be a literal death. It may feel very painful if you've been through shamanic journeys or ayahuasca journeys or some of the other things. It can be pretty scary sometimes. It can be very painful sometimes. You may experience things completely outside the realm and understanding. And yet when you come back, that fear that has been sucked away, that bravery, really, that courage that you have to enter that inner sanctum of your own truth, of your own fear, of your own unknown, that which you have buried through lifetimes because of the persecution, because of the culture that says you cannot talk directly to source, you cannot find your own truth, you do not know, you must ask us and we will interpret it for you, we will tell you, pay us, and then you will know the truth. Screw that crap and take your pilgrimage back to the center of your truth. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is tomorrow. Let's go ahead and go into that inner sanctum. I'm just going to feel into, I still feel like this one. All right, so I'm going to just check on you real quick and we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. I want to see if anybody else is here. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sharon. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you guys for finding us. I know that it was confusing because my guest canceled this morning after we'd sent out the emails, even did the Facebook post. So thank you for finding us at the last minute here. And let's go ahead and take a moment to breathe. When you breathe in, remember you're taking in that air that you breathed, your ancestors breathed, that holds the codes of the divine, of the clouds, of the elementals, of the magic, of the Celts, of the Egyptians, the Mayans, and everyone in the past. And let it bathe your cells. When you let it go, you hold that. Breath can carry your intention. So you let it go. So we're going to take a deep breath in I am that I am, and I am here on a sacred pilgrimage. I ask to enter the sacred inner sanctum of my divine truth, to die to the old, to receive the new, and to become the light of my truth. Let it go slowly. Feel the breath moving through your body, through your cells, relaxing deeper and deeper into the moment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Take another deep breath in. This time, instead of taking it up your nose, take it directly down your throat. Feel that breath. Can you see it? Can you sense it? Is it purple? Is it green? Is it tingly? Is it full of sparkles? Is it burning? Is it soothing? Let it go down the throat. Cleanse, clear, release all that holds me back from my truth. Hold it in the heart. Blow it out with intention. I am here to divine my truth, to walk again like every moment of my life is sacred, because it is. I am here as a channel for the divine. My soul, my purpose, my powers, I give them permission to come back to me now. Now I want you to see, to feel as if you are now, go ahead and close your eyes, as if you are coming back into the center, not into the sanctum yet. You're coming to the sacred place. I want you to take one more breath, and this time I want you to draw that breath in from all around you, 360 degrees, coming in your head and your back and your feet and your sides, and let it move wherever it most needs to go within you. Does it go into your mind, your aura, your belly, your sacral? I ask this sacred breath to free me from the past, the pain, and the fear, and to align me with the sacred lineage most optimal for my pilgrimage. Softly release it and feel it going out from you in 360 degrees, up, back, forward, down. I am that I am, and I am a clear and open channel to the highest good. I am ready and willing and open and receptive to receive this guidance. I understand, trust that all the guides, all the energies, all the wisdom, and all the knowledge that is required for this sacred pilgrimage is here. And whether I see it, feel it, or know it or not, I walk in faith. I walk in trust, step by step, connected to divine Gaia, to the dragon energies of life force, to the magic and the fae and the Celtic realms. And we call today on the divine Celtic wisdom, the ancient spirals, the stones, the fae, the goddesses, the great goddess, the understanding that the cycles are here and that we ride them, we create them, and we are one with all of this divinity, creating our own path and our own light. Now, as if the fairy goddess mother, me, has put a sacred bubble around you, you relax deeper and feel the faith and the trust that yes, in this very moment, you are guided and supported and loved. Feel that. I now accept that the truth of my purpose, my mission, my powers is within me. And I accept that through all this time and all this space, I have taken on so many beliefs of my limits, of my lack of worthiness, of my lack of resources, and my lack of support. I simply accept and acknowledge that that is true. In this sacred bubble, I am here with you. I am your fairy goddess mother. I represent the divine goddess that says, yes, you are designed to create your own reality the way that you most desire and love, not your ego, but your heart. And I am here to light your way, to kiss your heart and your third eye, to bring you faith and hold your hand, to remind you your wishes are granted. Now you are arriving at the sacred place of your pilgrimage because your intention has brought you here. Perhaps you know where you've wanted to go. Perhaps you just are starting to realize where you are. You sense it, you feel it, you're getting flashes or ideas. It doesn't matter how clear it is. You have it, and it's true, and that is all you need to know. I call to the ancient realms of divine truth that held the divine goddess, the ability to create, to know truth, to commune directly with nature, stones, crystals, and fairies, moon, sun, waters, trees. Now, simply acknowledge that all of those that are optimal for your pilgrimage are here with you. Now begin to walk clockwise like the sun going around the earth, this sacred place. You see and sense yourself moving with great intention, step by step. I am a sacred, divine being, walking in a sacred way with a sacred intention, and I align with the sacredness within me, whether I know it or not. Step by step, you circle once. I am circling, bringing the divine gold light of the sun to make this sacred place the center. You circle a second time, a third. You're feeling and sensing more and more with each moment that this place is becoming the center of your being, the center of the universe, the center of all that is for you. Fourth time around, still holding yourself as worthy, divine. You're on this pilgrimage. It matters not what is happening around you. A pilgrimage is an opportunity to stay focused into this moment, to trust and release everything. You are on the divine path. 5, 6, and as you begin your final and 7th circle around this temple, labyrinth, grove, or sacred space, you walk now. The truth is within me, and I allow it to be revealed. I am ready to enter this place because it is the center now, the center of my world, the center of my healing, the center of my wealth and my truth, my path. It holds everything I need to create, to be magic once again. Now you've completed your 7th circle around this sacred place. You stand in front of the door, the entrance to the labyrinth. Perhaps you see nothing. That's okay. You simply say, I am here. I am at the portal. I am at the doorway. I am here at the right time in the right place. And I ask abracadabra for it to open for me. Enter your sacred space. Now there is a space that is the first layer. Feel and sense, is this a place of cleansing? Release. Take a step to the next, more inner part of this sacred place. This is a place of remembering. Take a step to the next inner layer of this beautiful divine place. You have come on a pilgrimage. Perhaps you are sensing you're on a mountaintop, or you're in a stone circle in ancient Ireland. Perhaps you are by a temple or a waterfall or a beautiful ancient tree. Now the next layer is the layer of receiving. You enter this layer. I am ready and willing to receive. I understand that the divine feminine must first receive, and I have rejected. I have felt unworthy, and yet now I am fully present, open and receptive. Receive whatever it is, whatever downloads, healing, color, rays, symbols, information, many, many ways for the divine to bring you medicine for your soul. Now it is time, because you are ready to enter that inner sanctum, the most holy of holies, the place just for you. And it is dark, but you have your light, you have your intention, you have your truth, and you do not need to do anything. You simply need to be here now. As you enter the darkness, relax into it. Feel it enveloping you like a grandmother's embrace. Feel the divine love pouring over you as you go deeper and deeper into the shadow, embracing your shadow as divine and beautiful, loving every part of you that you have judged before. Go deeper, deeper into the darkness, because there is no darkness that can hold you back or block your vision. Now you enter the most divine place. Perhaps you see an altar. Perhaps you simply feel yourself relax, lay, or sit in this very inner sanctum of the divine. Announce who you are. I am that I am, Ea, Esher, Ea, and I am here because I am ready. I recognize my divinity. I recognize this moment of opportunity to shed the old. I come into the dark to forget who I am. I call on Inanna and Ishtar of the Sumerian goddesses to strip me bare of the old skin, the old mind, the limits and the fears. These identities I no longer wish to carry. I am complete with gratitude and grace. They melt into the dark. Now open your heart and sink into the darkness as you shed like the sacred serpent. You slide out of the known. You die to the old, to the limits and the lack, to the fears and the abuse, to the stories you were told were true. You no longer feel attached to or limited by the past. I let it go, I let it go, I let it go now. Sinking deeper and deeper into this inner sanctum, you now sense that you are embraced with the most divine and beautiful Celtic wisdom, the goddesses and the fae. Morgane le Fay, the queen of the fairies, the divine priestess of the other world, of the feminine, of the goddess. See and sense the other divine guides that are here in this deep, dark, inner womb of creation. Sink deep into this moment, into this place, and simply Allow, be in the center of you. Know that you've entered in a sacred way. The power in that is beyond belief. The doors are open to you to pick a timeline. When you emerge, you will be lighter and you will be in a new timeline. Sink deeper. Now be in your death. Be in the center of this shedding, of this removal, of this resurrection. I shed now. I step out of who I have been pretending to be. I let the mind melt so that those beliefs and those fears and those barriers simply melt out of the mind, the emotions, and the aura. I am ready and willing to die to who I thought I was, to carrying the meaning forward of anything that limits me or says that I can't, I won't, I don't, I shouldn't. And to all those who have not been an ally, but been a barrier. This beautiful and incredible moment deep in the dark, you cannot see or sense yourself. You know that you're transmuting, transforming, transfiguring. You're allowing the metamorphosis. I am ready and willing to shed, I trust, my highest selves and this divine moment and my fairy goddess mother and guides to know exactly what is optimal to shed for my highest good, for the empowerment of myself, my purpose, my mission. And as this falls away, you begin to rise. You feel lighter and lighter. You're rising out of the darkness. You see and sense the vortex you've been living in, how it keeps sucking you back into the old, into the pain. You rise above it. Your wand is lit. Your heart is glowing. You see and sense energies and divine beings around you. The dark womb is becoming full of light. The seeds of your soul are lighting up. You rise now and begin to expand. The walls of this temple, of this place, begin to dissolve as your light absorbs all of it, as if disappearing and dissipating. Now the temple no longer has walls or barriers between the different layers of you. You see and sense the sun, the divine, rising within you and around you, the light expanding layer by layer by layer. And now you are standing. You're standing in the sun. You're standing in the center of your labyrinth, in the center of your divine. You see your soul purpose coming, and there are no walls between you and where you're going. I am reborn, I am reborn, I am reborn, and I accept my powers and my healing I accept this next moment. I accept the guidance, synchronicities. I accept that I am a divine being on a divine path. And from now on, my light seeks my truth, and I walk in a sacred way. Allow your light to continue to expand until there is no longer a labyrinth or a circle or a temple or walls. There's no separation. You are simply a sphere of golden light. I accept and embody this light, this rebirth, this resurrection, this renewal. Now you see and sense that you are indeed in your room, in your home, in your building, wherever it is, your body of 3D form is sitting. I accept who I am and all that has been, and I accept that this sacred pilgrimage has been achieved and accomplished, and that the divine outcome is in motion. I receive it without needing to know. I do not judge it. I realize it is done. And that when I emanate this light, my reality changes right in front of my eyes. I project the truth. The power is here, the love is here, the guidance is here, the money is here. All that I require for my true divine path is here. Now take a deep breath in. Come into your body. Come down, 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 and sit in that sacral. Feel the alignment of your sacred spine, your wand, your pillar of light. Begin to move the body to integrate this other realm, the realm of the divine goddess, the experience you've just been on. I give great thanks for this pilgrimage. I give great thanks for the part of me that drew me to this. And together we are one. And yet I am sole divine authority over my path. And I am ready to emerge as that authority, communicating with the divine, seeking my truth moment by moment. Breathe in again. Move the fingers and the hands. Touch your head and your face lovingly. Hug yourself. As I emerge from this sacred pilgrimage, I call on the goddesses of Avalon, the dragon, Archangel Michael, and Mary. I call on the fairy realms and the Celtic goddesses. I call on the sacred stones and the earth currents. I call on the chalice of the Holy Grail, because my quest has taken a new leap forward, and I accept. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Blessed be. Now take your time to come into this moment. If you have the luxury of staying in this place, seeing or sensing what has come to you, repeat this, share this, please, and come join me on this sacred pilgrimage that we will be taking through Glastonbury, the 3D world, into Avalon, the realm of the goddess, the realm of the divine, the realm of the magic, the realm of the truth. This is the other world, and I am your guide, your fairy goddess mother. I am so honored to be on this journey with you. Namaste. May this circle be broken. May this circle be open, yet unbroken. And the path of this pilgrimage live within you. The resurrection and renewal that you've received and experienced, the release, the cleansing, all of it, I accept, and I decide it is truth. I now embody that, and I walk with every breath and every step today in a sacred way, as if I am still on this pilgrimage, knowing The synchronicities, signs, symbols are here. There's nothing to keep me from that which I seek from my truth and my heart, because it is already here. I turn from the lies of who I was told I was, and I am free. I am free. I am me. I am free to be me, to discover the magic. And everywhere I walk, I gift it to the earth. Everything I touch, I gift it to the person, place, or thing. Everything I eat carries this medicine. May the messengers that are divine for me continue to assist me in walking and remembering my powers, my purpose, and this beautiful pilgrimage. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you, my beloveds. Please join me, reach out to me, let me know how else I can serve you. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you for taking this incredible journey with me today. Thank you. Hi, Sephora. Good morning. You're so welcome, Lisa. You're so welcome, my loves. Thank you so much. Please share this. I want to reach as many people as possible, because my sacred purpose, my sacred path is to awaken people to their divine powers, to free them from the prisons like I have freed myself and continue to free myself powerfully. I walk in a different way now, and I will explain it to you another day. I want to let you go now. So come and join me. Let me know how I could be of service. And thank you so much for doing this, because you make a difference. We all make a difference. We're all a piece of the puzzle and the path. I just want to let you, hi, everybody. I love you. Namaste. And so it is.